Hello and welcome to a Absolute Music storeroom review. I am Mark. This is...
I'm Lee.
Yeah, this is Lee.
I'm Lee.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we looking at today?
We are looking at the Blues Junior, Fender Blues Junior. Fender have just released a version 4, or Mark 4, as it should say on the ticket, I believe. And basically we are going to A/B the Mark 3 and the Mark 4 and see which one sounds the best.
Correct. We happen to have literally the brand new stock arrived today, and we still have the version 3 in stock. So we thought we'd take the opportunity to do a little side by side. Version 3 is over this side, version 4 is over that side. Visually, they look pretty much identical. The only difference, which you may be able to see in a little bit of snazzy B-roll now, is that the version 4 has white chicken head knobs and the version 3 has black chicken head knobs. But how do they sound? Hang on.
Yes.
How do they sound? Anyway. So yeah, we've got a switcher set up here, a couple of guitars, humbucker, single coil. Let's see what happens. We have set the controls exactly the same for the purposes of this demonstration. So, without further ado, reference, this is the Blues Junior Mark III. We've got just a little bit of reverb on the amp at the moment. So, straight over to the Mark IV. Mark III. Mark IV.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a difference already.
Yes.
Bottom end.
Yeah.
Bottom end. Now, we have read the marketing blurb and we should probably run through that first. They're basically saying that they've just tweaked it. It's not a complete overhaul, but it's a bit of a tweak, mainly on the bottom end of the EQ. I imagine that's probably been done within the amplifier and also with the speaker as well. It's changed. It's still a 12-inch speaker, but it's changed from, I think, an Eminence. Yes, Eminence design driver in the old one to a Celestion speaker in the Mark IV. The reverb's changed as well, so I don't know if you can hear that. That's the Mark III. Mark IV, both set in exactly the same position. So I think they've kind of tapered off the reverb a little bit to tame it somewhat, because one of the issues, or supposed issues, was that the Mark III's reverb gets a little bit swampy and a little bit washy. And the bottom end definitely sounds fuller, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Mark III.
Certainly does. It seems to me as well that this one feels like it's got a little bit more. So if you had like a presence control on your amp, if that was kind of scooped up a bit.
That's interesting, because I hear the opposite.
Do you?
I think this has got more sparkle on the top. No, now.
I feel like it sounds like when you've got more presence, but then I feel like the trebles are just slightly rolled off.
Right, okay.
Which,
so maybe just
I don't know,
clarity.
Yeah.
More
like,
clarity, but not as kind of spiky in the trebles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably, across the board as well, more clarity definitely down at the low end as well.
Yes.
Let's go to the neck pickup. Yeah, a bit more weight to it. I think it's almost
definitely.
depending on what you play, because when you hit it hard like that, when you got those spiky top end, that kind of sounds a bit fuller and fatter. But when you're sort of like, you know, picking it. That kind of clarity, that glassiness over here. Reverb.
I think I've always kind of summarised that, you know, well, no, maybe not summarised is the right word to use, but I've always connected that really washy spring reverb with the Blues Junior. So when it's kind of, it has been kind of definitely dialed back on this
Out of interest,
particular model.
knock the reverb. I'm going to put the reverb up to like 12 noon. Go
12,
right up to, which is about
12
6
as well.
and a half on the controls because they go to 12. So let's see.
You know what I'm like, I'm all about the ambience, so I instantly prefer that. I can understand why, you know, sometimes when you've even got the reverb quite low on the 3, it still is quite prominent.
I think
so I can understand why they've rolled it back, but I like that. It's part of the character. It's part of
it's like a safety net, isn't it? Around the note, it's just a halo of goodness. Before we go too far and tweak the sounds, let's plug the Strat in.
Yeah.
Back the reverb back to where it was, sort of 4.5.
Cool. Back 4.5.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Because we will look at the drive sounds in a sec as well.
Okay.
Okay. Mark 3.
Interesting. It's weird. Interesting. It's weird because when you were playing, I was kind of swinging towards that one.
And now you like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
it's so full. Maybe because I'm in drop D at the moment.
And also the
Neck
Strat,
pickup.
which probably could do with a little bit of fattening up. Anyway, this is quite a chunky sounding guitar as it is. So they're both good. I can definitely see why people are going to like that, because the Blues Junior has been a massively popular amp. I should hold my hands up and say that I actually have one and I love it. I use it all the time. But the only thing that people kind of have reservations about is that bottom end. And like we've said, you know, the reverb sometimes is a bit much. A lot of people are going to be using the reverb pedal anyway, but it is quite nice to have that option, just plug in, turn a bit of reverb on. So let's delve into something a little bit heavier. They're both single channel amps. They don't have like an overdrive or anything. They have 2 volumes, so they have like a preamp volume, which you can wind up to get it to naturally overdrive, and then turn the master down a little bit. And you also got the fat boost switch on both, which are not engaged on either at the moment. It's a bit of a mid push, which just helps it drive a little harder. So if we wind up the preamp volume, I'm going to knock it up to about 9 on here now, and I'm going to, we'll leave it there for now. I might have to roll the master back a bit. So if you can knock the preamp up to 9.
Okay, I'll just roll.
Not 9 o'clock, but 9 on the 9 on the numbers.
Okay.
And then
Master.
probably just put the master sort of like just below 4.
Yeah. Okay.
And have a listen.
Just check with the same volume. Gonna knock mine back a fraction.
Any buzz you're hearing is just because it's a single coil.
Yeah.
Up on the strap.
So now over to the Mark IV.
Yep. I hope that's coming through on the mic. We've tried to mic, you know, the same on both sides just to keep it even, but it sounds like a bigger amp. That's probably the best way to describe it. They're both the same size cabinets completely, but that sounds... I could almost feel like if I was blindfolded, I'd maybe guess that this was more like a 10-inch. Yeah. And that was like a fuller... Because they're not full-size cabs as well, are they? You can get 12-inch combos that are much bigger, but that sounds fuller.
It's definitely got a lot more in the bottom end.
Let's... I'm going to engage the fat boost as well, so that's going to push the drive even more, if you want to do it on that one.
Yeah.
So, Mark III. Okay, Mark IV.
Sounds like, let's just silent myself, it sounds like less Fendery to me. It's got more...
I know what you mean. I don't know whether it's just something in the sort of revoicing of the EQ, but the Blues Junior's drive has always had that kind of raggedy, tweedy amp on the edge of like breakup. Yeah. Just kind of, I suppose, rough around the edges, but that in sounding bigger is almost sounding more, I don't want to say martially, but martially. Kind of more of your traditional distortion.
Definitely. Shall we push the gain up a little higher?
Before you change that, let's just plug the humbuckers in.
Yeah, that's true. I'm forgetting.
Because this is going to drive more anyway. So Mark III with the humbuckers. Those sort of sounds, that kind of sounds and feels.
Doesn't feel like a, well, it doesn't sound what I'd expect.
No, it feels a bit more.
Hear this back home, but like here, that sounds thinner.
Yeah, it's just
it's not an unpleasant sound at all, but it just doesn't quite. This one definitely has more body. 100%.
Let's push the drive to the max.
Yep, okay.
So this is going to be the preamp on full, and we haven't touched any EQ, we should say that, for the whole thing. Reverb and everything is still where it says it is. I think that's where you notice the lack of bottom end the most.
Yeah.
The more 100%. You push the gain, definitely.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. Anything else left to test? Do you want to plug the Strat in with that?
Yeah,
that
I guess
full
so.
On?
Need to actually think of a riff to play.
I know what you mean. It's always hard. Red light fever sets in. Before the cameras are rolling, we're coming out of all the gems. As soon as the cameras roll,
yeah, I'm literally there. Like,
can't think of anything to play.
Yeah. Can I nick your plectrum?
You can.
Is that all right? Thank you. Right, go over to the Mark IV.
One thing I want to do, if you just play, I'm just going to tweak the controls. I'm going to start with treble, and I'm going to sweep from low to high, middle, low to high, bass, low to high, and so on. Then we'll do the same on that.
Okay.
Because, again, I'm interested to see that. The Blues Junior has never had a particularly large EQ range, so I wonder whether they've kept it the same, all right?
Yeah.
So treble first, if you want to just play something simple.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was every EQ band swept from low to high, and you might not even hear with the gain like that. You might not even hear a bit of a difference. But out of interest, let me just do it on the other one as well. So I'll do exactly the same.
Oh,
So, sorry, it's treble, bass, then middle. So go again, treble on 0.
Might help if I changed it, sorry.
Don't know whether any of that would have come across, but I definitely think that sounded like it was doing a little bit more as well.
Yeah, I'd have to admit, I zoned out, so I'm not so sure. But no, I would have said maybe that was doing a little bit more.
Yeah, okay, well, interesting. An update to an absolute classic. I don't know, they're still both great. I don't know whether it's going to be enough to make Mark III users rush out and... I don't know.
I feel like maybe a little bit more versatile, because it can handle the rockier side of things better.
Yeah.
But if you're primarily using as a clean amp, maybe I'd
Less
still
of a difference.
swing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think all things considered, if you haven't got a Blues Junior, then you're definitely not going to have to search for a Mark III. You're going to be over the moon with a Mark IV.
Yes.
If you've already got a Mark III, some of you are going to want to come out and check out the new one because you might be looking for that fuller sound. Those of you that are happy with the Mark III, you're not missing out on loads, so it doesn't mean that your amp's completely redundant. But yeah, I think it's the best thing here is that we love the Blues Junior and they haven't ruined it, which is what sometimes happens. You know, we're almost scared sometimes, aren't we? When one of our favourite products gets an update, we're thinking, oh no, bye-bye to that one. But this is a welcome update, and I think it's going to continue being one of the best sellers.
Yeah, I do think so.
And certainly a favourite for us. Cool, there you go guys. I hope that was helpful in some way. Be sure to keep an eye out for more videos. There's more on the way. Make sure you like and subscribe, and if you're seeing this on Facebook, make sure you're following the page, the guitar page, because there's juicy pictures and videos coming fairly regularly now. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.